That you were coming this afternoon from the Allenby Bridge?
Yes, we had a delegation from the Korea through the Jordan, so I helped them there. Therefore, there was some adjustments of the program.
So the delegation made it from Korea to Jordan and hopefully to Israel today.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Were we polite enough in the borders? The delegation was accepted politely and nicely by our people?
Yes. There is a lot of improvement in Hungarian, the airport, as well as in the Allenby, which is the border office. They were very smoothly processed, and also they are very warmly welcomed here in Israel.
Well, that sounds like music to our ears here, so thank you for that. How long have you been ambassador to Israel?
I have been here over 2 years as ambassador already, and also this is my second service. I was here 3 years before, that is between 2003 to 2006.
So it sounds like it was that good, you wanted to come back to us?
Yes, this is my second home, and even after I leave this post, I want to come back here to see many friends and also to have a very enjoyable life here.
Great.
Thank you very much.
So, Mr. Ambassador, I guess there are some comparables to the situation now in the Middle East and Israel being a small country in a sophisticated area to what you may feel back home in your area and the developments there. Do you see any analogies between what you see here in our country and what happens back home?
Yes, political-wise, there is very much still similarities. As Professor Lavinovich also mentioned about some issues of North Korea, definitely there is very similar situations we face. In the North Korea, they already have enough of the plutonium to make nuclear weapons. Very recent, the American Congress report mentioned that North Korea might have 30 to 50 kilograms of plutonium. Usually, 6 kilograms of plutonium is used to produce the one nuclear weapons. In that sense, they already had 2 times of a nuclear test. They used about 10 kilograms. Therefore, they think that they have enough plutonium to produce 4 to 7 nuclear weapons. This is now the situation. As you know, North Korea developed already the very long-range nuclear missiles, which can reach to the west coast of America, and they are developing longer ranges of missiles now. There might be some cooperations in this is weapons of mass destruction with some Middle Eastern countries. We are very closely watching, and also 2 years ago, you also heard that there was a strike against Syrian nuclear facilities. So all these things is very much the threat to our national security, as well as the security to the Middle East and all around the world.
So if you were an advisor to the Israeli government, based on what you've experienced in your own country, would you suggest that we rely on international sanctions and international efforts to stop the Iranians from doing their thing, or should we do something else?
The problem started from the 1993. First, the IAEA mentioned about North Korea's breach of their promise against the NPT agreement. And then there have been the very long discussion with the United States and North Korea, and they produced agreed framework in 1994. For that, North Korea will give up all nuclear weapons, nuclear programs, In return, the Western countries promised to provide two 1,000 megawatt light water power station. And then, years and years after, there was no clear commitment from the North Korea. And on the other hand, our side started to groundwork for the power stations, and also Americans and my country provided food and fuel to North Korea in expectation that North Korea will commit their promise. But about 5 years ago, American intelligence found that there was some other movement in North Korea. Until that time, North Korea's nuclear program was based on the plutonium. But now, then the Americans found that North Korea tried to have another ways of producing nuclear weapons. That is uranium enrichment program. That is the same as now in the Iran. And then there was also the six-party talks on North Korean nuclear issue. That is America, China, Russia, Japan, and the South and North Korea. And we had many rounds of talks, but the talks didn't work out. Therefore, at this moment, we think that North Korea got a lot of benefit and assistance from us and the United States. But now North Korea has 4 or 7 nuclear weapons, or at least the materials. And now they try to have another way of producing nuclear weapons, uranium enrichment program. Something wrong. There has been the international sanctions against North Korea, economic sanctions. But North Korean people are leading miserable life, but the regime doesn't care about it. Therefore, still, this economic sanction doesn't work very well. Therefore, we think that dialogue, economic sanction, and the engagement policies, they don't work very well on this nuclear weapons program. I think Iran is watching for it, and also Israel has to think about what is the best option for the Iran.
Thank you for those sincere comments. So, moving onward to a more optimistic space, we are proud about the Israeli high-tech, the Israeli technology, the Israeli education. What of all this you see from a South Korean perspective? What do you think are the advantages of the Israeli economy, Israel as a country? We talked about branding earlier on. What of all of this do you see back home in South Korea when you look at Israel?
Yes, we have a lot of similarities between South Koreans and Israelis. First, small land, small population, and good education, very diligent, and no natural resources, only human resources. However, you are facing the security problems we are, but we overcome almost all the problems, and we had a very good economy. Israel is proud of making such a good, strong economy, and also we are to do so. One difference now, you said there's no natural resources, but now you have a Leviathan. So I hope that this Leviathan does not spoil your great idea and your frontiership. And Koreans, we have a good education system, but we think that you have a better education system. Recently, there was the test among the Israeli students as well as the OECD country students. At the age of 15, they took tests in math, science, and reading. You may know that where the Israel is ranked, below the average. South Korea, I think it's the number 2, I think ranked the number 2 or 3. And the other days, one of the Israeli channel came to my office and to get my opinion about this one. And they want to send us their crews to South Korea to find out, to cover how South Korean education is so great. I told him that, look, yes, at the age of 15, our students are very good in math, science, reading, yes. But this is not goal of education. High school is not. The goal is university, graduate school, and the PhDs, and then institute. This is very important. How many Nobel Prize Israel got, Jewish people got? Koreans usually identify Jewish people and Israeli people. So in case of the Jewish people, average 23% of a Nobel Prize were got by the Jewish people. If we just think about the science field of Nobel Prizes, Jewish people have 27%. And the economics, Jewish people have 43%. In the case of South Korea, how many we got the Nobel Prize? Only one. This is a Peace Prize, Nobel Peace Prize, only one. We don't have anyone from the field of science, technology, or the medicine, economics. Then we think, what is the goal of education? To get the highest level of knowledge and science. That is the goal. Therefore, you have very good reason to proud of yourself. Then, high tech. Yes, this is the basis of Israeli high tech. You are so good. There are many state companies here. And now, South Korean businessmen started to learn from Israel cases. You know the book, The Startup Nation. This was translated into Korean language. And now, this is the bestseller among businessmen. You know, Samsung, even my president's office, they bought us the hundreds of volumes. And Samsung, POSCO, they already asked their people to read this one. This is the one. We found that Israel, why Israel is so strong in this science and technology, IT? Why? There are many elements. We try to find what is the reason. What is the Israelis' creativity, Israelis' the imagination? We couldn't find it. We asked many of your people that, how? They said, no, they do not know either. I asked them, is it gene? They said, no. But what others? I think it might be the Judaism. As far as I know, according to Judaism, you challenge everything. Even you challenge God. This is a very good way of thinking. That's why you invent new things every day. That's why that you can keep the very high level of science and technology. South Koreans, we want to learn this kind of the education and this kind of the development of technology. You have very good system like chief scientists. This is unique. Incubators. This is also very unique. And also, nowadays in my country, according to the startup nation, many people know what is a talpiot. They know what is the 8200. Suddenly they said 8200. This is now it is our passion to learn about Israel. Therefore, now there have been cooperations in the field of science technology between South Korea and Israel. Here in the Yakom, there is Samsung R&D center is there. They have a very, very good Jewish brains there. What they are doing, they are developing technology which they can use for the new type of cellular phone in the future. And LG also has the R&D center here, and POSCO. You may hear about the POSCO. POSCO also is going to establish the new branch of their research institute here. And also, we think that we need to have Israel's cooperation in the field of venture capital. So our venture capital and Israel venture capital is now establishing joint venture capital.
Mr. Ambassador, thank you very much for all those compliments. Let's just see if there are any questions here from the audience. I do have one question to you.
You just mentioned about the kibbuzim.
Yes. Yes, kibbuzim. This is also very, very good. You know, the other day I went to the one kibbutzim near the, I forgot the name. What is it? They're in from the Caesarea, taking the Route 95, and then there is a small town where the Christian site is there. What is the name of it? Kibbutz, yes, kibbutz, but what is the small city name where the Christian site is there? No, before Nazareth. There is the prison. Megiddo. Just behind the Megiddo, there is a big the kibbutz. Yeah, I went there. I was invited there. I found that there are about over 1,000 residents to live in the kibbutz, and everybody has 100 cars. Wow, this is amazing! And whenever they need a car, they just sign up in the computer. Among the 100 cars, they can choose any car. I thought that, wow, this system is still existing and survive. They are very, very rich. Those residents are very rich. In 1960s, my country, when I was in the elementary school, I was told many times that Israel is a great country. This is, the story I heard from my teachers. Israel, this is a great country. You look at Israel, this is a desert, but it is not anymore a desert. It is a fertile land. They made the desert into the fertile land. They developed water from underground. This is the 1960s. So our president said that this is Israel is a miracle. Therefore, we want to see how your system, kibbutzim system, work in this country. We slowly understand the system and organization of the kibbutz. Then the kibbutzim idea was introduced in our agricultural villages development. So still, well, it is your lesson is being implemented in my country. So it is very successful. We appreciate it very much.
Thank you. So maybe last question here about. There's a question. Okay.
How would you suggest? What would you suggest to an Israeli business person in order to do successful business with Korean country?
Okay. 1997. We had our economic crisis. At that time, we tried to loan the money from the Wall Street and the IMF. The Professor Rabinovich, he helped a lot for us. because at that time my government wants to find from whom we can have the help to get the money from international financial organizations. One day, then my ambassador here, he got the message from our headquarters that you go to the Tel Aviv University immediately to see the president of Tel Aviv University. He was ambassador to the US and he had very good connections with Wall Street. My ambassador rushed to him and asked help. He made several phone calls and then it was very helpful for us to get the money. Same as in the same period, Stanley Fischer was a vice president of IMF. He was in charge of lending money to South Korea. There was IMF team and there was a Korean team to negotiate to borrow the money. One day, the IMF team, the leader of IMF team, told to the Mr. Stanley Fischer that, Stanley, let's stop negotiation now here, because I don't know who is borrowing the money, who is lending money. South Korean team is so tough in negotiations, even though they are here to borrow the money. Stanley Fischer told him that, look, I know that Koreans are very tough in their negotiations, but there are many other Asian countries who are very generous in signing documents, but who never get into the implementation. But as far as I know, South Koreans, they are very tough in negotiation. Once document is signed, they are implementing it. So I think you'd better go there and then talk again. They talk again. We got a very good deal. We borrowed $700 million. $700 million. I'm sorry. $70 billion. $70 billion. And then we pay back much earlier than scheduled. Did you see that at that time the Korean TVs, we are donating our rings. In Korean customs, at the age of first, when the babies have a first anniversary, first birthday, usually guests bring the gift, the small, the golden ring. The reason of our economic crisis was caused by the lack of our foreign currency. Korean people think that foreign currency, our golden ring, can compensate the foreign currency. That's why everybody was donating there's the children's the golden ring to our central bank. This is it. You know, we are very tough, we are very energetic. However, you know, once you have business with the Koreans, they are very committed to what they said. And also, you know, in dealing with the Korean businessmen, they are very tough in numbers. On the other hand, once you make friends, they are ready to help you in whatever way. Friendship is very important. Koreans catch the mind of Korean people, catch the mind, heart of Korean people. This is very important. Once you can do that, I think business is the second. You can easily get to that. Yes.
Thank you, Mr. Ambassador. You definitely caught our hearts tonight. Thank you very much.
Thank you.